Brand new right here, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg, nothing but a G.
Hey Ma, you left some garbage when you were doing out the bins. I'm missing a fucking rotating bezel here. How sad. It's literally flopping like a smelly fish. I didn't realise it was gonna take me so long to make like a girl. Excuse me, like every Nintendo YouTuber, gamer YouTuber from the early 2000s fucking stupid Nintendo sound effects everywhere. The Unpacked event for August 10th, 2022. I'm sorry I didn't make a video at the time. In fact, I'm 100% certain that this video isn't coming out until the end of the day. So again, sorry about that. The algorithm probably hates me right now, but we shall move. I've got notes, and I did watch it a couple of hours after it came out. I was just super busy. Even if I wanted to make a video, I couldn't, to the level of sort of sitting down, talking at the camera, because I was just busy. I had stuff to do. So let's just talk about the Unpacked event directly to the camera. Again, shit lighting, shit audio. Let's talk about the event itself. Cringe. I think I've seen Mark Zuckerberg do a bit worse, let's be honest. But I just feel like it was trying too hard. Try hard as in, we're gonna make this look like Apple, but with green screens. And you know what, I did enjoy the intro video, and then they did the whole showcase of, oh, we're doing this, this and this, in sort of like a massive, like, tons of bubbles like they do for Apple. And it's just like, just do your own thing, guys. Honestly, it's not that difficult, just do your own thing. I also don't like how, like, when they were showcasing the product with the ad initially, and then the end bit, which would say the name, and then the product with a white background, it would just stop halfway. It would just abruptly stop the animation, and it'd just be, there you are, there's your product. Sick, mate. And it's sometimes with Apple products as well for me, it just didn't keep my attention. It wasn't filled with fluff. In fact, I think that was the one good thing about it. It was just straight about products, and I think Samsung has always been good with that, with how they articulate their products and how they want to show them. I just think it was too all over the place. There wasn't enough structure. That's my opinion on the event. Let's talk about the products. Let's look at the notebook. It's a book where I keep all my notes. Yeah. So let's talk about the design of both of them overall, rather than talk about each of them individually. They both are aluminium. Still, they have this new shiny look, which I think looks great on the flip and fold. It looked great on the original one, especially with the original colours, that green and that purple for the original fold. Mint. And especially the purple on the original flip. They've sort of brought it back, but they've made it more uniform and more iterative, which I think is a main thing about these products. I think they're not trying to be as different as possible. Maybe they should be, but what they're getting at is that, right, we know what we've done good, we know what we can improve on, we're just going to improve on it. But what I'm trying to get at is they are going in the right direction. They haven't made any wrong steps, especially during COVID, so I'm going to give them I'm going to personally give them the benefit of the doubt with a lot of this stuff, trying to keep them as relative as possible, let alone keeping them at the same price. So they're both shiny, they both got the new Gorilla Glass, the Victus Plus I believe. They've both got the same CPU. I believe the cameras are different, especially obviously because we got the telephoto, which is a 3x not 2x with the Z Fold. Definitely improvements for both of them. And also, well, to be fair, I've had a shower now, but I've put in the notes, looks groggy as fuck. Brackets, me and brackets. Thank you, Past Jack. So as I said, it's the most iterative, the most meh update ever. Honestly, it's sort of like, if I showed you my phone in the case and I showed you this one in the case, it's definitely an S upgrade if we're talking about in Apple terms. You would not be able to tell the difference. In fact, they didn't even talk about much in terms of the design of them, except for more so with the fold, but with the flip, just shaving off less than millimeters, less than grams in terms of size. But however, because they have made the hinge smaller and more sort of less cumbersome, they've been able to give a bigger battery. So that was one of the rumours that was true. We've got a bigger battery, 12% bigger in fact. And you know what, with the flip, that will give it a massive boost, especially with all the efficiency updates that this new CPU is bringing to the table. Most people who use the Flip won't be using it as a productivity machine, even though you really can, especially with the aspect ratio. I'm like American. Hey, you want to get some coffee? The battery is probably the best thing about it. But if you want the newest thing possible, the Z Flip 4, honestly, if you're looking for a slightly different phone and you don't care about price, the Z Flip 4 is probably the best thing for you if you're not about productivity. And obviously, when it came to the event, they're working with partners. The main one that I noticed was they mentioned Instagram, trying to work with the aspect ratio specifically for the Flip. However, they did also mention the Fold, but as part of the Flip segment. And I think it's quite cool that they're doing this because Instagram has had a massive struggle with optimizing for Android. It's perfect on iOS, but like my reels get cropped out. They sometimes Instagram just glitches when you're trying to upload stuff. But the fact that they've acknowledged this regardless is a right step ahead. And they also talked about Facebook and Meta and Google with all their products like Meet and all that, whatever Meet is. And as I said, sick colours. Bora Purple is the name. I also like grey green. Is it grey green or grey blue? One of them. They're quite cool. However, my main issue, and this pertains more to the Flip rather than the Fold, but I'm guessing it would be with the Fold as well. Most of these are software updates that they were talking about. As I said, it was just more like, yeah, I can probably do this on my Z Flip 3. Like they were talking about, you can do more with the cover screen. With the Fold, there was another thing which I'll talk about with the Fold. They were talking about how many things you can do with the cover screen. Also with like sort of flex cam, they were talking about flex cam, what you can do with the cameras now. And I'm like, you can almost definitely port this stuff over to the Z Flip 3. There's still flagship specs. You're not trying to retrofit something like a brand new CarPlay stereo, Apple CarPlay stereo into a retro classic car. This is a brand new phone that you've just replaced. You can port some of this stuff over. There's literally no difference in aspect ratio ever. They haven't updated the size of the screen. So that annoyed me a little bit, and that's why if I was ever going to upgrade between these two, I'd go with the Fold rather than the Flip. Go on to the Fold now. With the Z Fold, that would be the one I would upgrade to. I think in fact it has seen more updates. Apart from the battery, it's seen more updates than the Flip has this year, especially with the front screen, especially with it being lighter and slimmer, more of a size than the Flip has. That's probably because they need to make more changes with the Folds to make it more appealing as opposed to the Flip, which is their moneymaker. That's why they started that's why they spoke about the Flip first. As I stated, there's a new outer screen and inner screen, thinner bezels all around, and you know what, I wasn't even that fussed about the original front outer screen because it wasn't meant to be used as that. That was sort of something, oh, you've got that in your hand, anything else, open it up, because you're not gonna do everything on that screen. You're not gonna do everything on the screen now. Even on the Z Fold 2, the difference in size is unparalleled. Honestly, the design that they have made is the best of both worlds in terms of feasibility, practicality, and what consumers want. Anything else that is ideal in terms of size is being made, but it's only for Chinese markets, and even then I think they're like $2,000. So 1,800 I personally think isn't a bad price, because you're not going to be buying these outright, are you? You're going to have them with plans, you're going to trade your phone in for this one. I might even pay my phone outright, the Z Flip, and trade it in for the Z Fold. And you know what, hopefully, because with the Z Flip, I've actually got it here today, with the Z Flip, these cameras were from the S10. So for both of these, they should be one cut below flagship, which I think is pretty sick. And the one thing that is software locked that I think could come to the Z Fold 3 is, drum roll, a taskbar. A taskbar. Maybe it's something to do with Android, but at the end of the day, get your shit together. It's the one thing that annoys me from being an Apple fanboy going to Android. I love Android, and in fact, I'm thinking about my next phone as we speak. It's probably going to be an Android between 1 or 2. As I said, it's iterative. literally everything that was introduced on the Z Flip and Fold 3, they have improved this year. So you're getting an upgrade. It's not a big upgrade. If anything, they can say now that these are feasible options with all the new technology in terms of the screen and durability, with the new CPU, the new cameras, productivity, software updates, and what you can do with the cover screen. These seem like more of a option for people than they did even before. I think now looking at what the Z Flip 4 cover screen can do now as opposed to what it can do currently with the Z Flip 3, it's like, oh, it's actually usable now. You can actually do almost everything with it. There's no compromises. Really should have been the Z Flip and Fold 3, in all honesty, but it's the Z Flip and Fold 4 now. The 5th generation of these phones are just going to be absolutely, and everyone's going to want those. Those phones become the creme de la creme of Samsung, I reckon. You can quote me on that. The creme de la creme, you can quote me on that. The Watch 5 and the Watch 5 Pro. The 5 Pro would be the one to get, but that doesn't have a rotating bezel. Why I don't use this, and why I was making a joke about it, the digital crown on Apple Watch is like the main selling point for me in terms of notifications, keeping your screen viewable at all times, not covering it with your fingers. I know that's such a first world problem, but it annoys me so much that I've just went with a regular mechanical watch at this point. I honestly just couldn't care less for smartwatches because they killed my Pebble, man. Right, I think that's about it. It's been a long video. Hopefully it was worth it. If I can get my hands on either of these products, I will look into it. I'll look into an early upgrade. I don't mind paying. Well, I know I don't mind paying, but I probably won't buy either outright. I'll have to look into it. We might make a video about it. We might make a video about it, guys. We might make a video about it, lads. We might make a video about it, everybody. Well, apart from that, take care, have a brilliant day, enjoy yourselves. Hopefully this video should be out before 6 PM. Take care.